Let's start with England, who are continuing to assess the fitness of both Declan Rice and Reece James for their final World Cup group game against Panama on Saturday night. Let's cross straight then to Kansas City and join our football correspondent Rob Dorset, who joins us now. Rob, very good evening. Right, you spoke to Eze in the last hour or so. What are the latest on the fitness concerns in the camp?
Well, it was interesting that Eze, of course, knows Declan Rice better than anybody in this England group, you'd have to say. They're very close at Arsenal. And we've had a lot of concerns about Declan Rice. You've got to remember that after both of England's games so far, he's looked like he's been in a lot of pain. We saw him limping through the media section heading to the team bus in Boston a couple of nights ago after that 0-0 draw with Ghana. He had a strapping on his left calf. Now, I'm told that that left calf is a bit of a dead leg, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The wider concern is the injury he's been managing throughout the back end of Arsenal's season. We know he's been taking pain-killing injections for a problem in his lower back, which has caused some pain down his hamstrings. And so, look, I'd be very surprised if Declan Rice was risked from the start against Panama tomorrow night in 2 nights' time in New Jersey. But Eze was a little bit more positive about him. Of course, he's seen the fact that he's played 64 matches this season, Declan Rice, already. And if you hear from Eze, he's convinced that there's a lot more still in the tank from Declan Rice.
To help the team, and yeah, when you watch him play, I don't see him playing as if he's carrying anything. You see him enjoying himself and having fun. So I'm sure he's okay.
Well, Rob, England couldn't break Ghana down. You were concerned. I was concerned. Was Eberechi Eze concerned?
Yep. Nope. Not at all, Mike. And neither's Thomas Tuchel. Look, it's been really marked, I think, England's response to that disappointing draw. We should point out that England have drawn that second group game, by the way, in each of the last 4 major tournaments. So it's something we've kind of got used to. It's a bit of a dip before they go again. But yeah, I was concerned at the lack of penetration from England's attack. And of course, it was Eze who was brought on with about 20 minutes to go to try and change things. His World Cup debut. So a big ask for the Arsenal man. But he says, talking to his teammates and to Thomas Tuchel in camp, there is no concern. They have confidence that they can beat teams who hit them with a low block going throughout this tournament. It was a bit of a one-off, he felt, against Ghana. But have a listen to how optimistic Eze is. And as you say, he's a little bit more optimistic than the media and fan response, I think, to that draw with Ghana.
I don't know if other teams will play that way, because it's not easy to play that way. For natural, I think when you have a team that's sitting back and not really too interested in how much of the ball they have, it does suit attacking players to be in tight spaces, to be creative and to take risks, and yeah, that's something I'm good at.
One of the things that people thought of that game against Ghana was that there was maybe a possibility of playing 2 number 10s rather than 2 midfielders who are a little bit deeper. Would you say that could work in games where you're going to have so much possession that someone like you or Morgan could easily play alongside Jude?
Yeah, I think that's an option. It's something that the manager has spoken about before, so it's definitely something that we've got. But yeah, the manager chooses the team, and they do so much research and analysis to find out what's the best way to attack an opponent. So yeah, trusting what they're doing and the way that they think, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that make the decision.
Rob, Thomas Tuchel said in the week, didn't he, that England desperately need a fit Bukayo Saka. Is he going to be fit enough to start?
I think so, is the easy answer to that. Now, we never get much of a clue from Thomas Tuchel about his team selection, and he leaves it very late to tell the players, just a few hours before kickoff, remember, on match day itself. And he's got some big decisions to make, hasn't he? How many guaranteed top spot with 2 wins and 6 points after those games against Croatia and Ghana? That isn't the case, so he's going to have to make some key decisions. But he's hinted all the way through England's time out here in the US that it's this 3rd game against Panama where Bukayo Saka could be fit to start and play a full 90 minutes from England. Much will depend over on how he responds over the next couple of days, because he has got that Achilles problem that England have been managing, and in fact that Arsenal were managing towards the back end of their Premier League winning season as well. But have a listen to Eze, because he's full of admiration for his Arsenal teammate. He knows just how important Bukayo Saka is, not just for Arsenal, but for this England team as well.
Yeah, that is true. an incredibly talented player, and his level of understanding of the game is insane. I feel like, yeah, he's a player that makes the right decision a lot of the time, and he's so effective, so efficient. Just link up with him, and yeah, he's a fun player to play with for sure.
So, Eze, as you'd expect, full of glowing praise for his Arsenal teammate Bukayo Saka. Thomas Tuchel, though, has been quick to point out that we shouldn't expect too much of Saka. We shouldn't lump all of the expectation for England creating and scoring goals on the shoulders of just one man. But we'll get a better clue tomorrow, I think, of how Saka is. We'll see England train for the final time before they fly to New Jersey for that game against Panama. And then we'll hear from Thomas Tuchel late in the evening, your time. Some key questions to answer, hasn't he? Because this is a much more important game for England than it might have been. They need to win. They need to better or match what Ghana do in their final game against Croatia, which of course will happen simultaneously, if England are going to guarantee top spot in Group L. And they want that, Mike, for supposedly an easier route in the knockout stages and easier logistics as well in terms of the travel and locations.
Robert, I'm going to let you go so you can get tucked into the world-famous barbecue in Kansas City. So for the moment, thanks very much and enjoy yourself.